Hey, if you're a behavioral health professional, you already know that getting ICD-10 coding right for anxiety is, well, it's absolutely crucial. It really does impact everything from patient care all the way to getting paid. So in this explainer, we're going to cut right through the confusion and show you how to really master it.
So let's be honest for a second. Does the thought of trying to navigate that whole complex world of F codes for anxiety give you a little anxiety of your own? Yeah? If you're nodding along, you are definitely in the right place. You are not alone in this, for sure.
You know the drill, right? Claim denials popping up, that low-key fear of an audit, treatment plans that just don't seem to line up with the diagnosis. Sound familiar? These aren't just minor headaches. They're a huge drain on your time and energy that you should be focusing on your clients.
But listen, there is a better way. There's a path where accurate coding actually makes patient care better instead of getting in the way. And that's exactly what we're going to show you today.
All right, let's dive into the fundamentals. We're going to start with the most essential anxiety codes, the ones you'll probably be using day in and day out. So let's quickly break down the big ones. You've got F41.10 for social phobia, F41.0 for panic disorder, and F41.1 for GAD. That's the one that requires at least 6 months of that excessive worry. And then there's F41.9, the unspecified code. You should really think of this as a temporary placeholder, not the final diagnosis. So, why do we keep talking about specificity? What's the big deal? Well, a specific code, like F41.1 for GAD, tells a really clear clinical story. It justifies your treatment, and it leads to much smoother billing. On the flip side, that unspecified F41.9 code, that's basically a red flag for payers that just invites questions and, you guessed it, denials. This is exactly where a good EHR can be a total lifesaver. You want systems that have smart features like pick lists and code groupings that actually guide you toward the most accurate diagnosis. It just takes the guesswork out of it. A platform like Behave Health, for example, is literally designed to do just that. Okay, now let's talk about the common traps. The little things that lead to big denials and how you can sidestep them completely.
All right, here are the top offenders we see all the time. Number 1, relying way too much on that unspecified F41.9 code. 2, using symptom codes as the primary diagnosis instead of a proper F code. 3, and this is an easy one to fix, using old, retired codes that are a guaranteed denial. 4, forgetting to code for co-occurring conditions like depression. And number 5, a simple mismatch between the DSM diagnosis you made and the ICD code you picked.
Now, a specialized EHR can be like your co-pilot here, helping you avoid all these errors. Look for things like automatic code updates, smart DSM to ICD mapping, and even prompts for those comorbid conditions. Some systems, and this includes Behave Health, can even alert you if your documentation doesn't quite support the diagnosis you've chosen. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, this next part is so critical for both compliance and quality care. Let's talk about linking your diagnosis directly to your treatment plan. This is what auditors and payers are always talking about when they say the golden thread.
So what is the golden thread? It's just a clear, unbroken line that connects every single piece of your documentation. It starts with your diagnosis, let's say F41.1 for GAD. That diagnosis directly leads to your problem statement. From there, you build a specific SMART goal, and finally, every single intervention and progress note you write has to clearly tie back to that goal, and by extension, all the way back to the original diagnosis.
So what does a really strong, SMART objective look like in the real world? Here's a great example. Over the next 4 weeks, the client will reduce their daily anxiety from an 8 out of 10 down to a 5 out of 10. See? That is the kind of clear, measurable goal that screams medical necessity.
An integrated EHR can be an incredibly powerful tool for just maintaining this golden thread automatically. By structurally linking your diagnosis to your goals and notes, systems like Behave Health just help you create a compliant record, but with way less effort.
Okay, one last crucial thing. How do we make sure our practice is ready for the changes that, let's face it, are always just around the corner?
Because coding is never a set-it-and-forget-it kind of thing. Right now we're using ICD-10, but there are mandatory updates every single year. And if you look out to the horizon, the huge transition to ICD-11 is coming. Staying compliant simply means staying current. It's a continuous process. So here's the bottom line. You can spend your valuable time chasing code updates, or you can use a system that handles all of that for you.
A good EHR, like Behave Health, will manage these changes in the background so you can focus on what actually matters, your patients.
It really all comes down to a simple choice. You can keep letting these coding and documentation headaches slow you down and pull you away from your real clinical work.
Or are you ready to finally streamline your entire workflow from the moment you code for anxiety straight through to a rock-solid treatment plan?
If you're ready to completely transform your approach to anxiety coding, I really invite you to learn more. A demo is the best way to see firsthand how these smart workflows, treatment plan templates, and compliance guardrails can make a huge difference. It's a great way to see how you can move from coding confusion to complete clinical confidence. Thanks so much for watching.